The Lincoln Premier Gold. For those unfamiliar with Lincoln, it's Italian. A name like Lincoln might not sound it, but they certainly are Italian. They're a Rizzini built gun, a fair built gun. Very, very good, reliable action for the money and the price point. Plus, I would also say probably one of the most, not customizable, but one of the guns with the most variations of any gun on the market. This particular one is the Premier Gold. The Premier is their fairly standard model, and they don't really make much else, to be honest. And the gold refers to the gold inlaid duck and pheasant. On the bottom you have an engraved woodcock, and again another engraved gold woodcock on the black trigger guard. Just a really smart gun. We'll say up front that this gun is a budget gun. You know, it's well under £1,000, and for £1,000 you get a fairly nice bit of wood. You know, it's not grade 1, it is above grade 1. The engraving isn't particularly deep. This is kind of where they hide their money, essentially. The engraving is of a fairly uninteresting quality. However, the pattern is quite pleasant, and you know, at arm's length it's a nice looking gun. It's just when you inspect it closely then you can sort of see where they've saved money. Spec wise, they do a variety of barrel lengths. We'll start with calibers actually. 410, 28, 20, 16, 12, and I believe, not in this model, but they do something called the Lincoln Wildfowler in a 10 bore. So on their action frames, they provide probably the most variation per model of any gun out there at the price. Barrel length, 28 to 32 in a 12 bore. I believe they do 26s, and they do some up to 30s in smaller gauges. Multi-chokes or fixed chokes on most models, you can sort of decide what you have, and the fixed choke saves you a little bit of money. In fact, my favourite model of the Lincoln Premier Gold is the 20 bore 30-inch fixed choke. It's lovely. Like for a gun of its price point, it handles so fine, to the point of I'd almost rather have it to a Beretta actually, or a Browning. It's just nice for the money. I keep repeating, for the money. You know, it's not the nicest gun in the world. None of these are. You know, if you pay too much attention, you'll see where they cut corners. But the cutting of corners isn't at all in engineering. The fair guns, you know, Rizzini built guns like Lincoln, Rizzini, that sort of thing, are actually of a really high quality. The pattern isn't, and the actual pattern and design isn't that exotic. It's something that's been used for an awful long time in a lot of different models. However, they haven't changed it, they haven't really played with it. They found something that works, and yeah, it's not like a Beretta and it won't last you the rest of your life, but it'll do you good service. You'll definitely get £1,000 worth of use out of it. Things to say about this model I've got in my hands. This is a 28-inch multi-choke, 20 bore. Balance, a little bit front heavy. This is why I prefer the fixed choke on most of the Lincoln models. The multi-chokes do add a bit too much fore-end weight. However, in the 12 bores and the sporters, that's not unpleasant entirely. You have, on this particular model, automatic safety and a single selective trigger, so you can have a little play and enjoy yourself somewhat. Quite a long grip. They come as 14.5 as standard, all have Schnabel fore ends, single bead sights on a fairly nice rib. There is another model that is worth showing you alongside the Premier Gold. Is this, and we are going to do a separate review on this, but for not a lot more, you can get yourself into the side plate edition. And for a little bit less, you can get yourself into the Premier Standard, which doesn't have the gold. So there is a little bit of variety there on models, which is quite pleasant. Overall, I believe their design spec sheet says something along the lines of they're out to create a good quality, elegant, beautiful, yet budget-friendly shotgun, and I think they really have actually succeeded. I mean, Lincoln is one of those names that most people will know. A lot of people start with a 20 bore Lincoln because they are quite reasonably priced for a starter gun. However, I know an awful lot of people who shoot 12 bore Lincolns, very popular in the 16 bore market because, you know, you don't have a lot of choice if you want a 16 bore. Popular in the 28 and 410 market because they're not killer price. Generally just one of the best starter guns you can have, and even then, a gun that will see you out for an awful long time. I say, but if you are looking for a gun for a little longer, I'd suggest maybe step up, maybe the Vogue, perhaps the Jubilee Deluxe. That's a nice looking gun. However, my real overriding thing with the Lincolns is buy a small bore. They really are best in their smaller gauges. They scale their actions down so nicely, which is quite pleasant actually. The 12 bores are a bit big and clunky and a bit unrefined. However, on like most models, when you scale a model action down from 12 bore to 20 bore, everything gets scaled down with it and the quality doesn't disappear. So there you go, the Lincoln Premier Gold.